Oh.
Oh, Ty and Eric, couple treacherous little twins banging in your eardrums.
Oh
Think
shit.
Fresh podcast.
Dude, I'd rather die for my twin right here. Let's
I love you like
go.
my kin. Let's go.
Wow. That's
A treacherous
exciting.
little twin.
Wow. Ty, can you do some for me? Can you can you
Oh.
can you order a little sandwich for me?
Bro, I'll never order a little sandwich. It's big sandwich or nothing.
That's a rich flex if I ever saw one.
Facts.
Beautiful.
If you
Someone
if you
listened to the
didn't
album.
if you yeah, I was gonna say if you didn't clue in, I have played back her loss, and I feel like I have some form of expertise now on the project. Unlike episode. Last episode,
Hmm
I was the caboose, but you are the engine of that train, that
That's right.
subway train.
We were chugging along and we were
Mm-hmm.
going through all the lyrics. A choo
Mm-hmm.
choo, chugga 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 chugga.
Mm-hmm. I was just your little backpack through that. You were carrying me through the episode.
Much like, Drake carrying 21 Savage throughout the entire album, I was carrying Ty last episode,
Mm,
spitting some good bars and getting your take on them. And I'm excited because you promised you would bring me some bars this weekend
mm-hmm.
and this week, this episode. And I'm not talking about bars of bread. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about lyrical bars.
That's right, Eric. We are no longer podcast hosts. We are now mixologists, as we are going behind the bars to fashion up some takes, I guess you could say.
hmm Let's get right into it,
Mm-hmm.
buddy. DJ,
Yeah.
run that shit.
I guess my overall perception of her loss, Eric, was that both Drake and 21 Savage make better music separately than together. Um,
Really?
I don't think that they're really the hive mind, the meeting of the minds is benefiting either party here. I'd rather just
Hmm.
listen to some 21 shit, or actually like just listen to some Drake shit. And
So when it comes to duos, when it comes to duos, who's better, Drake and 21 or Drake and Future?
Drake and Future for sure. I feel like when
Yeah.
Drake and Future are in the lab together, they really feed off each other's energy. But I felt with
hmm
Drake and 21, they kind of sucked each other's energy a bit. Like every verse was a little bit more like you could just tell they're like, I'm just like tired of being here kind of thing. And it got progressively more
Mm.
so, but and then it kind of fizzled out by the end, I felt like. It's like they were
hmm
vampiring each other.
hmm Yeah, real vamp shit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what I like about Drake and Future is Future really brings out strip club Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like when Drake is like singing about like, you know, get a plastic bag, go ahead and pick up all this cash. Like that, I like that Drake, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Not like murder Drake. Murder Drake's still scary, and I don't think the character is as believable for me, you know?
I don't believe it either. And then
Because
Drake brings out like 21's emotional side, and I don't really believe that either.
no, I don't know. 21 is a cold hard killer, and we like
Mm-hmm.
that. Drake is not. Drake is the kind of guy who would get a stripper and
Mm-hmm.
like be like, "So do you love me?" Like it's like he would try to like save the stripper and like take her home and show her all the finer things in life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, totally.
that's the story arc that I'm like more invested in versus like Drake showing up at my house and like doing a drive-by or something. Like it's less believable for me.
Yeah, like 21's popping people on the street. Drake is popping zits on his face. Like they're in different leagues.
hmm Exactly. Thank you.
So I agree. I want to see the side of Drake that he like has money and demons and doesn't do with them. And Future brings that
hmm
out. Future is like I feel like when Drake and Future work together, they're like competing to have more baby mamas. That's their like they're one up each other with like revealing how many, like, what their body count is, and not in a I killed you kind of way.
Hmm. Wow, that's so true. Yeah, body count takes on a different meaning when it's between Future and 21.
Mm-hmm. Quite, yeah,
Interesting.
literally. So that was like at a macro level, my perception of the album. Uh, I don't have much to say beyond that. There were some like moments that caught my attention throughout it. The first one I wanted to talk to you about was actually, what track was it on? Um, you know the guy from L'Art de Automobile? What's his
Yeah,
name?
Arthur Carr.
Arthur Carr. Yeah, he started talking on the end of one track,
I
and
love this segment so much.
me too. As soon as he started talking, I'm like, oh shit, this is sick. Because I don't know, I follow them on Instagram for a long time. They're interesting.
Hmm.
He's interested, and it was so unexpected for him to show up and start talking.
Hmm.
Uh, and then he said something that really, really spoke to me. He said, uh, "You try to flex next to me on the red light with your ugly whatever, most expensive car, V12." And he's like, I drive a 4 cylinder. I come from nothing, but I'm doing something, and you cannot catch my drive. And I was like, damn, I relate to that on so many levels, Eric, because I drive a 4 cylinder and you can't catch my drive. We 200 episodes out here, Think Fresh podcast. We are driven. Um,
That's right. Respect the
Whereas
grind,
like
bitch.
all these other rappers like buy you a Mercedes Benz that don't make you driven. But we come from nothing. We're from the trenches here at Think Fresh podcast. So
Yeah, exactly. What can I do for you?
yeah,
Um, I like the part where the whole part where he's like saying all those things in a French accent,
hmm
and he's just like, I'm looking for the smoke.
yeah. The lights of
Like
the
I
Eiffel
like,
Tower.
mhm. I drive a 4 cylinder. Like
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
best part about it, you know?
It's the
And
best part.
yeah, and then at the end when he's like, I'm Birdman. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's like for a second I was like, "Is this Birdman?" And then I was like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, I know. It's Birdman meets Duolingo. It's like the Duolingo owl. That is the Birdman. Whoa.
Whoa.
Anyways, that was a good moment on the album. I'm happy you caught that. Um,
Yeah,
what
that
else
was a
stood out
great
to you?
moment. Um, there was like a few moments that different like concepts came up that were interesting. I was thinking about like some of the themes you brought up in our last episode. You were talking about Megan Thee Stallion at one point.
Mm,
A line that was like potentially a diss to Megan, and I found another line that I think might also be a Megan diss. Eh, um, Circle. It was on Circle Loco. The
mm.
line was, "Shorty say she graduated. She ain't learned enough. Play your album, track one. K, I heard enough." And
Oh shit.
if you remember, during the pandemic, Megan Thee Stallion got a diploma, and also came out with a bad
Oh
album.
shit.
So
Oh.
I think there's a theme emerging here, Eric. But then he called her Shorty. So I don't know. It's not Megan the miniature pony. So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 here. What are your thoughts?
Mm. Well, luckily, shorty has nothing to do with one's height. It's merely, you know, you're talking about boo, right?
Mm, mm-hmm.
Or I guess any female. So I can see how it might still apply. Yeah, it's interesting, Ty. I forgot that Megan Thee Stallion went back to school to
Mm-hmm.
re-up on her education
Great use
during
of
the pandemic.
quarantine. Great use.
Absolutely. One with her, someone with her level of clout would benefit from the increased work from home protocols that
Mm-hmm.
we experienced in the pandemic. So good for Megan the Stallion for going to school. Do we know what she went to school for?
I have no clue. I would just assume it's law. Anybody in the public
Mm,
eye that goes back to school is becoming a lawyer.
Hmm. Yeah, the field of law is having a big boom when it comes to like girls with fat asses becoming lawyers.
Yes. And I'd imagine if it like in some way it helps you navigate the legal system to have a big booty shaking courtside. Um, I don't know. Like you're sitting a lot.
Oh shit,
You need
that
that
was
extra push.
amazing.
It
That
does
was
actually.
amazing.
That segues Eric into like a different lyric I wanted to bring up to you, which I feel like was okay. I listened back the whole album. I was trying to think like, are there any references to Subway here? Because we know Drake's a fan of the way. We know he likes a 12-inch once in a while, and there was one lyric that was so clearly evident that he was talking about Subway.
Oh yeah.
It's from Hours of Silence or Hours in Silence, whatever the seventh, eighth track is. He said something like, I don't need a deluxe, which is obviously a reference to the signature sandwich. Her stomach is flat as fuck. She's still fit in that shit. She's still fit. That shit in her gut. Somehow that fat must have went to her butt. Do you remember this? Like it's something about how like her stomach's still flat, even though she's got that shit in her gut. She doesn't need a signature sandwich here. It's all down in the butt, man, in her lawyer butt.
Oh, dude. A plus, Ty. You've passed this course
Yeah.
in Rap Genius. Oh, I
Call
know
me
exactly the
Dr.
lyric you're
Ty.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, damn, shit
Um,
signature.
once again, shit is signature. Um, there's like some other like line about this shit made for supreme ears or something, divine ears,
Divine ears.
something like that. It's like he's big upping the listenership, which is what we like to do on this show.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh, um,
We
but yeah,
talked to
Ty,
God.
I like how, once again he uses wordplay, double meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's talking about the deluxe album that he
Mm-hmm.
won't come out.
Yes.
Maybe some indirect shots at Ye, for dropping the deluxe. That's just
Mm-hmm.
the same songs in a different order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Same sandwich, same ingredients, different order. It's the same sandwich.
Yeah.
It all
It's
goes
the
into
same
your
sandwich.
gut at the same time.
Fit in that gut.
Stomach on flat, flat. Waist on or ass on. What's that?
Damn.
Wow, Drake's the king of BBLs, bro. Let's just be honest about what it is.
Yeah. And like some of these lyrics, they're pretty hard. I feel like I don't even care if the man has ghostwriters. I know that like there's some people on forums that will like roast him for that. He gets a lot of hate for
Hmm.
maybe bringing in other people to the creative process. I have no issue with it because as long as the wordplay makes me smile, it doesn't matter who
Hmm.
wrote it. What's important is he
Hmm.
delivered. He's the DoorDash driver, and therefore, whether it's good or bad, I will. If I like my meal or don't, he's the one that's going to get my critique.
Exactly.
But
You're right. He's a representative of this
mm-hmm,
music shit.
yeah,
Wow. BBL Drake, man. So do you if you buy a girl enough footlongs,
mm-hmm.
is that equivalent of paying for their BBL? Because you're making their ass fatter.
uh, it's yeah, dude. It's like you're per, you're helping. Oh man, I had a thought here. Yes, at a high
Yes.
level, yes. It's a more natural form of plastic surgery in a sense.
Is it more natural? It's still very plastic at the end of the day, Ty, because think about
Mm-hmm.
what the bread, you know what I mean? You're shoving a whole yoga mat into a woman's rear end.
Wow. Yeah. So it's less it's we call it not plastic surgery, but maybe like plastic naturopathy, because it's a more
Ooh.
natural path of plastics entering your body. In this case, the plastics are yoga mat bread.
Exactly. It's a plastic diet. I'm on a plastic diet.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Sprinkle some microplastics on my sub next time.
Damn.
Damn.
With a little bit of parm. I feel like
Hmm.
the Parmesan at Subway is just like ground up water bottle.
Uh, Any other lyrics for me?
Any other gems? Um, in the second track, 21 Savage, my favorite line that he said was SF90. This is not McLaren. Make an IG model run my errands. I just thought that was kind of funny, and very aspirational for a lifestyle. Uh,
It's much better to have like a IG model do things than a normal woman.
and there was also an entire song dedicated to the Breadheads, track 11, Broke Boys. So that was pretty
Oh
cool to
shit.
see.
Broke boys. That's
Yeah.
true. There was also a very short line where he said, "Bread it up at Matsuhisa." Did you catch that
Oh
one?
shit, I didn't catch that. Damn, another Subway reference. He did mention
Exactly.
how he couldn't get a rezo at Carbone, which
Hmm.
made me even more inspired to go to Carbone next time I'm in the 6666.
Exactly. Did he say he got a rezo, or was he, throwing shots at us non-Amex Platinum holders?
Actually, if I remember correctly, I think he said that she like in general couldn't get a rezo, so he had to get it for her. Her loss.
Her loss. She doesn't get the points from that dinner. That sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. Reminds me of when I was in New York, Thai. This was pre-pod days when I didn't have any clout. Now, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different story, but back in 2019, when I was, hanging out or outside of Carbone with one of my friends, we walked in asking for a table, and then she said, "Oh yeah, welcome to Carbone. Like, what is the reservation under?" And I said, "Oh, we don't have one." And then she just laughed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just laughed. She was like, "Oh, it's like you're gonna need a reservation."
Wow.
Yeah, that's the vibe we're working with here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so therefore I took it personal, Ty, when Drake said that, Megan is feeling away. Um, who else caught a stray on this album? There was Megan, there was me, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kanye,
Shots fired at the Breadheads.
the Breadheads, of
There's
course.
a lot of
Breadheads
bodies.
Breadheads got a whole yeah, that one was a massacre because the Breadheads got a whole song dedicated to them.
Damn. For a guy who literally said in the lyrics, please talk to someone else, cause I can't talk to broke boys. Like this song is like talking to all the broke boys. So there's a bit of irony there actually that he writes a song
Hmm.
saying he's not going to talk to broke boys when he is in fact doing that by creating the song.
Hmm. Exactly. And it's too bad. I mean, I guess the song's towards the latter half of the album. So
Mm-hmm.
if the drop off rate, is at track 11, then we know why.
Yo, you know who's gonna stick around though for the 11th track? The Broke Boys, because they got time to play the whole thing back.
It's like, let me make sure I'm hearing this shit clearly.
Yeah, me after that Daft Punk
Oh,
uh, sample, I was about as far as I could get in my first listen because I got things to do.
true. That funk sample was good. That was probably the goofiest part of the album, and it
Hmm.
made me smile.
Me too.
Um, oh, excellent.
It's
I have
no
a
harder,
few.
better, faster, stronger, but
Mhm. I think there was a line here that I wanted to look up, and I'm just like glancing up, I'm glancing at the track list here, and I'm kind of remembering a few feelings that I had. Let me just see if I can find it here. Um, no,
Eric's
I don't have
reading
anything
level's
for you.
like at a fifth grade level, so we might be here for a while.
That's true. I thought I could add to this conversation. Do you have anything else you want to go over while I look for this?
Um, well, I don't actually. I actually don't even have much to say in general for the rest of this episode. I've pretty
Okay.
much been tapped.
Well, thanks to you now, our retention is tanking. But it's okay.
We're like the 11th track on a Drake album. It's
Right
people are
now, yeah,
dropping off.
exactly. We're the 11th. This is the B side of the podcast episode, and unfortunately, that means no one's left, Ty. It's just you and me. How does it
Maybe
feel
if
to
we
be
make
alone in this
let
call?
Quick, Eric, let's make more fun of the breadheads and maybe they'll stick around.
They love that kind of toxic back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, much like the ingredients at Subway. Um, but Ty, let me tell you about a recent experience I had because as you know, I'm now located I've left the Chinatown proper area. And while you know the business address is still there, my current residence is no longer there. I'm in the suburbs,
Hmm.
and in the suburbs comes with a lot of great opportunities to sample the local cuisine, primarily Subways, because there's a Subway on every block, and they're
Hmm.
all very different. This one was really bad. I went to one that was really, really bad. It was worse than even the downtown Subways.
Wow. Usually
Yeah.
suburban subways do better because at suburban subways, the artists are that's their livelihood, you know? That's a family restaurant.
You're absolutely right. It's either that or McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's no Matsuhisa in
Mm-mm.
like this like random like highway town. So not that I live in that kind of suburb. This place was really shockingly bad. I guess the area has like zero walkability. So
Mm.
it's like there's no one going there. Like it's like pretty much empty. Like the
Mm.
avocado bin tie, it was like just straight brown. Like it just looked like a dog took a shit in the bin, and it was like not a single like shade of green to be found. It was just like a brown pile.
Dear God, okay.
Yeah.
So the vegetables are stale, the artists are out of practice.
Mm-hmm. Are washed up. But you know what I thought was interesting? They were leaning. Okay, the in-store marketing, all the signage was advertising something really exciting, and it drew me in. I was 10 toes in the store when I saw
Mm.
this.
That's two
Um,
feet, 2 foot
that's
longs.
2 feet. I'm 10 toes, 12 inches in. And on the glass, prominently in front of the bread, it says, "Try our new Tex-Mex bread."
Ah, yes. Dude, I've seen this at other
You've seen
suburban
this?
locations. Yeah, but every time I try to order it, they say, we don't actually have it. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, we don't have that. Yet it's like blocking my view of the meats.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, nothing changed about this visit. The guy
No.
was like, "Oh, we don't have it."
Actually, they didn't have it
Yeah,
either?
yeah.
Damn,
And
must
also,
be all down in Texas.
yeah, he literally just brought out like 3 trays of bread, and then I asked him like, "Oh, do you have the Tex-Mex?" He's like, "No, we don't have it." He just says,
Dude,
straight up says no. Like what?
isn't that whack? Even when I was in Toronto this month, I tried to order Tex-Mex bread. They didn't have it there either. I don't think it exists. I think somebody made this up to bring people in the store, and then they say they don't have it, and they're like, "I guess I'll get herbs and cheese then, or whatever." You know,
Exactly. It's like, ah, imagine traveling to a Subway for the Tex-Mex bread.
making a special trip.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
it's honestly good marketing though. Like, why don't they just keep doing that? Like, why don't they say that they have like sautéed mushrooms on the menu, and then you roll up
Hmm.
and you say, "Can I get the mush?" And then they say, we don't have it. And then you're still gonna get a sandwich, you know? They can say they have
Yeah.
free cookies and who cares? It's just
Especially
made
especially
up.
with the mush, like it's so far down the ordering process, like you feel bad abandoning your sub, and you probably
Hmm.
wasted 10 minutes of your 15-minute lunch break. And so, fuck, I can't cancel my sub now. I had to go back to the shop.
Yeah, dude. Like if they should strategically lie about the availability of ingredients farther down in the ordering process. Like maybe like they have a pecorino cheese or a maybe
Hmm.
a cream cheese spread at the end, but you don't find out
Hmm.
that there's no spread.
Wow. Or maybe they'll say like, they just tell them there's a discount, and then when they get to the till, be like, oh, that promo code's expired or something.
Yeah, that's got me before.
Yeah, it's got me before too.
It's a
Um,
genuine tactic.
yeah. But yeah, dude, no text bread. Do you think it's kind of like the Subway or no, the McDonald's ice cream machine? It's like it's never worked before.
Hmm.
Maybe it was never there to begin with, and we just like dreamt that it was there. You know, like
Yeah,
is that what's that Mandela effect?
something like that.
Is it
The
Sandela effect?
So you think the Tex-Mex spread is a like just our collective imagination? All
I
we're all
you
tripping.
yeah, dude, this is the Mortadella effect. Okay, there's no way that this bread has ever been a real thing. You've ordered it, I've ordered it. None of us have tried it. Comment below if you've tried it.
Yeah, to the breadheads, reach out to us. We will bring you on this podcast to share your experience.
If you can provide photo evidence that you've consumed the Tex-Mex bread in Canada, send
Mm-hmm.
it to our DMs,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk about it on the pod. But yeah, Ty, that's not where the fun ends though.
Oh
I
no.
I ordered the orange cheese, and
Really?
yeah, which was I ordered it before I looked at the pile of orange cheese, and it was very slim pickings, and
Mm.
it got like I like took a deep breath and when like started applying the cheese, like peeling it back, and then he had all the cheese but one slice, and then he had to go all the way back to the back to open another cheese package, and like he walked back with a single slice of cheese back to my sandwich and like put it down. And it took him
Damn.
a good while to like find it, I guess.
Carrying around that something like that delicate with two plastic gloves on. He must have felt like you're at like a Sotheby's auction, the way he's moving across the room with that.
Exactly. And then I could have been on my Banksy and then shredded it, but I decided not
Mm-hmm.
to.
Yeah, not today. That would
No
be funny to
shreddeds for
change your
me.
mind after that type of commitment to the cheese.
hmm I'm committed to the cheese, baby.
Dude,
I'm
if
all
I
about my cheddar.
if I saw a bottom of the bucket cheese option, I'd be avoiding that like the novel coronavirus because there's some sort of plague on that cheese. You don't want
There's
bottom of the
probably
bucket cheese, dude.
it's aged. It's 18 months aged. Right?
Fair enough, actually. If there's one
Yeah,
thing that's okay to be aged on that menu, it's the cheddar.
the cheddar, baby. I'm old money in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyways, beyond that, Thai sandwich was decent, I guess. I carried it back to my house, which was new for me. I was late for work,
Mm.
and it ended up being pretty good, I would say. Not too bad, not too good. You know, just where Subway needs to be.
Just right. It got you from point A to point B.
Exactly. It got me through to dinner is what I was looking for it to do.
Yeah. Subway, the only type of place where you have a stomach ache before you eat and a stomach ache afterwards. Like I'm so
Absolutely.
hungry, and then you hurt so bad.
And during, my stomach was
And
like gargling like for at least 2 hours after.
and during. Wow. When you describe it that way, you think like, why would any human subject themselves to this? But yeah, we do time and time again.
In the spirit of research and science, Ty.
Ty and Eric, human guinea pigs. And
hmm
on that note, Eric, I think it's time to go get back in the lab. I got a dip.
Sounds Gucci, my guy. Um, well, just like that. See you broke boys later.
Yeah, we don't talk to you, broke boys, but we will next Tuesday. All right,
Ciao.
ciao.